Hey, friends! Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast with your host, Nicole
and Hannah. Come join us for some hopeful conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing.
Hey, Hallmarkies! We're back for another episode. I'm missing my wonderful co-host, Hannah, today, but I'm joined by my sweet friend, Theresa from the Heartie Observer to talk about the wedding veil expectations with Lacey and Kevin, two of our favorites.
So excited. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, and this is your first time.
Yeah, it is. Yes, I'm super excited. Like I said, I've been looking forward to it all week. So.
Aw, well, I'm glad to have you on to talk about this amazing movie.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. So what did you love most about the wedding veil expectations?
You know what? I have to say, I really loved how intimate it was.
Yeah.
I know Kevin mentioned that before, like, the movie aired. He was like, oh, it's like the most intimate Hallmark movie.
Mm-hmm.
I really loved that about it. Like seeing married life as opposed to just like, you have the meet cute and then like, just it kind of goes from there. But this one was like about married life. And I really loved that. I loved seeing, like the inner workings of that. It was just very different, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, I did too. I think we need more married storylines on Hallmark going forward.
I completely agree.
Even though I'm not married.
Same. I'm still single, so I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I'm still living the single life.
Yeah, same. You and me both, but I have no problem with married life. Watching it on Hallmark. I need more.
Yeah. Yes. Hopefully we'll both find the right guy sometime.
I hope so. Although, being a Hallmark like fan account and like blogger, it kind of raises my expectations a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's a little hard, but
Yeah.
I'm sure
I think
out there.
I saw a shirt yesterday on Etsy and it said something like, my standards aren't too high. I just won't settle for anything less than Oliver O'Toole.
Oh my gosh. I love that. That is so accurate though. I remember
like, that's me in a nutshell.
Yes. That is so accurate. I remember watching Signed, Sealed, Delivered for the first time. I'm like, I'm in love. My standards just went from here all the way. Yeah. That's so great. I need to get that shirt.
I do too. I need to order that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Great show, by the way. If any of y'all have not seen it, definitely check it out.
For sure. Yeah. Pretty sure my sisters and I we binged that within like a week, the first season of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we just like sat down, we're like, oh, we're gonna watch the next one. It was just like, a roller coaster of like emotions, but also like, you're triumphant by the end and falling in love with Oliver O'Toole, of course.
Yes. And Norman Dorman.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Love him too.
Yes. They're all amazing.
Oh yeah.
That's
another what I say about Signed, Sealed, Delivered is that you love all of the characters.
Yeah. And that's another series we need more of desperately.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. It's just so great and so heartwarming and you're always satisfied at the end. It's just amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the genius of Martha Williamson.
Yeah. I've heard people say that Signed, Sealed, Delivered is probably the best thing that Hallmark has made.
Yeah.
I definitely, to a point, I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Mystery 101 is also up there too.
Yes, definitely.
But, respectively, I would say Signed, Sealed, Delivered is definitely in the top 3 or 2 at least.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And going back to Kevin, that was actually his first role on Hallmark was from Paris with Love.
Which I didn't actually know that until like later on.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, when I watched it, I'm like, wow, Kevin's like so young here.
I think
like in his early days.
Yeah. I think the first time I saw Kevin was on Heartland. And then I saw him on When Calls the Heart because I had started watching When Calls the Heart like middle of season 4 and he wasn't on the show yet. And then
okay.
I think I started watching Heartland a little after I started watching When Calls the Heart. My timing may be a little off, but somewhere around the same time. And then I saw him in Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Aw, that's so fun.
2 years ago now, actually, almost. I've been a postable for almost 2 years now.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, the first time I saw Kevin or Chris, to be honest, it was When Calls the Heart. I had never seen anything before that.
Yeah.
But then after that, I saw him in I believe it was Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Yeah.
Currently right now, me and my family were actually getting through Heartland right now. Getting through all 14 or 16 seasons. I don't know.
Oh goodness.
Somewhere in the middle somewhere. We've got a long way to go.
Yes.
But that was his first thing, but the last thing I saw him in. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess we should get into the movie now, which is why we are here.
Yeah.
And the very first scene, I love this scene. Peter's wake-up call to Avery and the rose on her pillow or on his pillow.
Yes. I remember just sitting there and seeing like the way it started with like the credits and everything, and then just the rose being placed on her pillow. I was like, wow, this is like a rom-com kind of, like this is how they start, with like the very like romantic setting. I was so impressed by that.
Yes.
Like the filming, and the acting's great throughout the whole movie, but I was pretty impressed with how pretty it was, and obviously the gesture of him waking her with a rose every morning.
Yes.
Like, so romantic. So
yes.
That was super cute.
Yeah. I love when she said best alarm clock ever.
Yeah.
That would be.
Thanks for raising the standards even higher.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the way it started.
Yes, I do too.
Perfect. Yeah.
The little conversation that they had when she wakes up and they're talking about the contractor. And I think Peter calls him the house whisperer.
Oh yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh.
That was so funny. And then it gets even better when he says, so did you leave the handsome prince for him? And Avery says, what can I say? He had me at refrigerator. And Peter says, I don't like this story.
I love that little touch at the end where he's like, I don't like that story. I literally laughed out loud. I remember distinctly. Like that was such a cute scene, and I love their like little witty banter. It's just
yes,
such a great dynamic, and I love.
And can we talk about that next scene when Grace stops by and she is talking about wanting to be the interior designer for the house?
Oh yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh.
That was so funny. And
I'm like, I probably would have reacted the way Peter did, where I'm like, no. Not that she's bad or anything. It's just like,
yeah.
You kind of want to have control of that. You don't really want your mom taking all of that. But, it was very sweet of her.
Yes, I love how Avery
Peter's reaction.
was just like all in on this.
Yeah, I love how like positive Avery is like the whole time. She's like, "Oh yeah, we could do this," or "Oh yeah, it's gonna work out." And poor Peter's like, "Ah."
Like no, please, mom,
it was really
don't.
sweet to see Avery, just kind of keep a positive attitude throughout. I really liked that.
Yeah. Emma and Tracy, they visit Avery and they see the new house. I loved this scene as well. And Emma says, 3 grown-up married ladies. And Tracy says, one of us has a grown-up fancy house.
Yes, that's so true. Because I don't think the other two, I think the other two are living in like apartments or still figuring that out. But Peter and Avery finally, got a house and they're like renovating it. So I liked that comment because
Yeah.
a lot of my friends are, married or
Yeah, same.
everything like that. But a lot of times it takes a couple years to, actually purchase the house. So yeah, the house is a big deal for sure.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful house.
Yeah. And huge for two people.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah, but it was beautiful. Yeah, I liked the like dark wood character of it, and it's just
Yeah, I did too.
really, really nice.
Yeah. I love those kinds of older historic houses. We have a lot of
Oh
those
yeah.
in downtown
Yeah.
Charleston.
They're so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love old houses with,
Yeah.
they're not like falling apart, but they're just like they have like the old character of like
Yeah. And the history.
coating or like the hardwood floors. It's just
Yeah.
I watch, if you can't already tell, I watch a lot of home improvement shows too. So
Yeah. Fixer Upper is one of my favorite
I
like
love
renovation shows. Yeah.
Yes,
Chip and
that's one with,
Joanna.
Chip and Joanna, yeah. I love them.
Me too. Chip is a character.
He's so funny. Oh my gosh, yes.
Demo day.
There is. Yes, I love that show.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. My mom gets a lot of her, project ideas from them. She also bought all, like, the cookbooks and,
I
all the
think we have at least one of them. Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of a must,
Yes.
have the Joanna Gaines cookbook.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love when the women are in the house and they're talking about the veil and how it's going to be the main attraction at the museum's lace exhibit. And then Emma brings in the christening gown, and Tracy is like, no, we're not going down that road again.
That was just such a Tracy moment. Like,
Yeah.
as she said, I'm like, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she softened to the idea by the time her turn came around. But it was funny to see her very like, no.
No,
Yeah, she's like,
not
there's so
again.
much attached to that thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
then
like that. Tracy
Yeah.
always brings like a nice humor to it.
she
and
does. And Allison does a great job in that role.
She does. I adore Allison. so.
Yeah. I love how Emma mentions the christening gown and how it is a subtle hint from Paolo's grandmother about starting a family.
I mean, coming from a very large Italian family myself, that is very much a thing. I will say. That totally did not surprise me at all. I was like, yes, we have big families and we drop subtle hints all the time.
I have one of my own on my mom's side. Like I have 9 first cousins.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
My mom has 3 brothers, so
Aw, that's so fun. Wow.
it's
Yeah, I
always
don't
fun
even-
at holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas. Although
Oh,
Christmas used to be so crazy, like everyone would get everyone else something.
oh my
And I'm
god.
not even joking, like the gifts under the tree, it would literally almost be coming to the sofa. I'm not
I
even kidding.
believe you. Yes, I completely believe you. Christmases used to be crazy for us too, and it
Yeah.
was the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always fun though. But we
Oh,
have stopped that, and now it's more kind of like a secret Santa thing where we'll pull names.
oh, see, we do the same thing. We
Yeah.
had to.
We draw names. Yeah.
Yeah. It just got to be too much after a while. So yeah, we
Yeah.
were like, let's just do one and one. Like, let's not
Yeah.
do everybody buy gifts for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, then you can buy something nice, like really.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite scenes between Avery and Emma and Tracy, and it's when they are having lunch and Tracy and Emma figure out that she is pregnant because
Yes.
Avery doesn't order a rosé, and they're like,
I can tell you from personal experience, whenever I am like out with a friend who's like newly married, I'm always watching to see if they like will have alcohol, because that's always an indicator to me, like, aha,
Yeah.
got something going on.
Like, because you're not supposed to
like
drink
when you have a
alcohol.
clouder ring and people always look at your ring to see if it's like turned around or whatever. It's kind of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that I found that as funny because I remember distinctly I had a wedding to go to this Christmas. Like one or two people at the wedding who I was kind of like, you're not drinking tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it struck me as funny because I was like, oh, I was just doing that the other day. Doing some detective work.
Yeah. I mean, I normally don't drink a whole lot of alcohol myself, but
Same. Yeah. No,
I could probably
I just
tell.
don't like it personally.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. I'll have a glass of wine every now and then, but
Right.
very rarely.
Yeah. I like ciders and stuff, but
Yeah, me too.
anything beyond that, I'm like, I can
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
yeah, but it's always funny to watch for subtle hints with other people.
Yes. I love how Emma says, "Is there any chance that our designated driver could be pregnant?" And Tracy says, "Blink twice for yes."
You know what's funny is that I was watching the Facebook Live with all of them, and there was one point where Allison actually said that in the Facebook Live. She's like, "Oh, blink twice for yes." And
I think I saw that part.
Yeah, I didn't understand what she was talking about, but it was a reference to that line.
Like, what are they talking about?
I know they have all these like little inside jokes, and then as I watch the movie, I'm like, oh, okay,
That makes sense now. Yeah.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
Tracy bringing the humor.
Yeah.
And Allison knocking it out of the park. She was great.
Yeah. This next scene was really good. And it is Avery and Lucy at the museum, and Peter stops by. And this is when they are talking about the new guy, Mason, I think was his name, and how he's going to be taking over the museum. And Avery says, "You're on the board. What tune are you singing?" And Peter says, "I'm singing whatever tune my lovely wife would like to sing." Good answer, Peter.
He always has the right answer.
Yes.
Does that a few times. It's really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he knows how to say the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciated that though.
Yes. I did too. And you could really hear the Boston accent in that scene, which I thought Kevin did a very good job with in this movie.
I agree. I think he did even better than the first movie.
Yeah, I agree.
In the first movie, he was still kind of like learning how to do it.
Yeah.
But it was way more subtle in this movie. But I feel like that's realistic, and I appreciated that.
Yeah.
I could, really work on it, I guess. So yeah, I thought he did great.
And also, just really briefly, I love Lucy. I think she's a great addition to this movie, a great supporting character.
Yes. I love that too. Yeah.
Yeah. And Fiona does a great job in this role.
She's just, I love watching her in whatever.
Yes.
And she just brings like this, like, she's like a ray of sunshine. She's just like a light to every scene. And I love it whenever she was, in this movie. She wasn't in it as much as the previous movie, but I liked that they still had her there.
Yeah, I did too. I think she should get her own love story, maybe. And
so too. I mean, she's already married, but I still feel like it would be fun to, have her have some kind of like little thing going on with the veil. And
oh yeah, of course. That would be awesome to see if we get another trilogy.
Yes. I'm hoping we will. I'm hoping.
Yes, me too.
Everyone seems excited to do it.
Yeah.
Hopefully Hallmark will, go for round 3.
Yes. I think this is one of the most comedic scenes in the movie, and it is the phone conversation between Avery, Emma, and Tracy. And Avery says, "There's another man in my life." And Tracy says, What did you say? Avery, I think I'm in love. Tracy, what does Peter think? Avery, oh, Peter loves him too. He's the contractor we hired. He really gets the house. Tracy, oh, good. Your baby daddy and the other man are getting along.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I literally laughed out loud when she said that. It was just so funny. So funny yet so sarcastic at the same time. I really appreciated that.
Cracked up at that when I was watching live.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, it was funny because like that particular scene of dialogue, I was like,
Yeah.
it's more like a rom-com, you know?
Yeah.
Like less of like the Hallmark cookie cutter and more of like rom-com type material. And I liked that. I really liked that. Yeah.
I did too. This scene with Peter and Avery in the room, and Avery is talking about the colors for the walls, and one of them, I can't remember who it was, but one of them said too monochromatic. I think that was Peter. And then they're talking about Grace and then Peter's big day. And then they share a kiss or two, and then they turn off the lights by clapping. And I think this is the moment when they're kind of out of sync, if I'm correct, or was that later?
Another scene I feel like that comes after where they're out of sync.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, there's so many scenes in the room in the same setting that it gets confusing after a while. But yes, no, there is a scene where they're out of sync. I think this one's the one showing that they
the one
are.
Before, yeah, because they're snuggling after.
Like, oh, right now we're in sync, and then later it's like, oh, we're not in sync, and then it just goes from there. I like that imagery though of like.
I was about to say that, going to that second scene when they're clapping, trying to turn off the lights, and they're like so out of sync. I feel like that's symbolic to their relationship at that time, which I loved.
Oh yeah, I love that too. And it was brilliant because I wouldn't have thought of that, but like you actually can see it happening like without needing to like express in the dialogue. It's like, oh, we're not agreeing on something, but then you actually show that they're out of sync, like as a couple through like the clapper or whatever it's called. But I really liked that, and I thought that was really good directing on Peter Benson's part.
Yes, Peter did an amazing job on this movie.
He did, and I think he had fun doing it, which is important.
Yeah, and Peter is one of my favorites as well. He's a great addition to Hallmark.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I know him from the Aurora Tea Garden series.
Me too. Yeah,
that's where I first became familiar with him. And
actually,
I just love him in that. But I didn't actually know he directed a lot of things until this movie came out, and I learned more about that. So
he's directed a couple things.
The
last couple of years.
Both as a director and an actor. Yeah. Super cool to find that out though. Oh yeah.
I would love to see him direct more movies for Hallmark.
Too, yeah. He had some really, really great ideas.
Yeah. Avery and Grace meeting with Sam. This was a funny scene too. And it is when they are talking about the ideas of paint colors for the walls.
Yeah. That was funny.
Avery, I think, picks up her headband, or not headband, but like I guess the thing she had in her hair when she first met Peter, which I thought that was really cute.
That was cute, yeah. But she's like, oh, this purple, but like softer and like more subtle or something like that. And the guy's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever you say.
Yeah. Sam.
Yeah. Sam's very patient.
Yes. After Peter walks in and he asks, what's going on? What's the conversation about? Sam says, real life evokes a feeling of color.
He's like, yep, real life broken color. And Peter's just like, what? Oh my gosh. So funny.
Yes. And again, of course, Peter has just the right answer because he says, "Darling, if you love it, I love it."
Yeah, I love how he said darling too. It was so cute.
I know, those old-fashioned terms of endearment I love.
Yeah, I love darling. Darling's definitely one for me. Whenever people say it, I'm like, oh, so cute.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, a note on Sam. He cracked me up because he's like he had talked to Peter. We're probably going to get to this, but he talked to Peter about being married for like 20 years.
I was just about to get to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just like, you can tell whenever Avery's like telling him, "Oh, we need to do this or whatever," and he's just like, "Whatever you want."
Yeah.
Like not trying to understand the female mind, just going with the flow. You can tell he's been married for 20 years. It's very
fun. I love that line when he says, "I've been married for 22 years and my wife is still a mystery."
Yeah. And Peter just gives him this look of horror, like, no. That was really funny.
Yeah, it was. Can we talk about that meet cute in the furniture store with Grace and Clark?
Yes. Oh my gosh. That was so funny. She's like hiding behind the lamp.
Yeah.
Grace, is that you?
And Avery's like hiding behind another one, just watching it all play out.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
Literally cracking up because usually like Grace is like this very proper, like prim lady, and then she sees Clark just like tucking behind the lamp. Like, well, that's a whole different story.
And of course,
one thing I wish they had done in this movie is actually tell us why she and Clark broke up.
I would have liked to have heard that.
Yeah. I would have liked a little more backstory on them, kind of like, when they were engaged, they just were in different places in their life. I mean, to me, like Clark never actually got married, so
that was the one thing that wasn't my favorite part of this movie, was that we didn't hear more about Grace and Clark.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because it was like, that was the Vale storyline with the two together, and I would have liked a little more on that, probably. Yeah, but of course, so much going on in this movie. I guess it was just tough to fit it in there. I don't know. Yeah.
And of course, what does Grace have in her hand when she sees Clark? The veil.
Yeah, of course. Yes. I remember just seeing her holding the veil. I'm like,
the veil working its magic.
It's over. You're gonna fall in love. Get married.
Oh my goodness.
Hallmark needs to make sellable copies of the veil and just let fans.
Okay, yes. Can we make this a thing?
We need it. Yes. I need to carry a veil around with me. Maybe the magic will work. I don't know. It might actually make the guy think that you're getting married, like in the first wedding veil scene. Like, taking your chances, but still.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I say Hallmark needs to the veils.
I mean, they've done stuff like that before with When Calls the Heart and SSD. Like they gave away, or Kristen gave away the wedding dress that Shane wore.
Wow.
At Ramadrama. Wow.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
They're gonna make more wedding veil movies. They probably couldn't give away the veil because I know there's just one.
Yeah.
But if they made several copies and some people, I'm sure that would be something people would, be into. I know I would, so.
Me too.
Yeah.
I loved the scene when Avery finds out that she's going to be a mom, and then she tells Emma and Tracy.
Yeah, that was so cute. Yeah, I loved that.
Yeah.
Really sweet.
And then of course
she was very like nervous about it not being true, and I know what that's like, because not that I've ever been married for have a kid. But my older sister, for a while, she was like, worried about it, like, oh, am I ever gonna, have a kid or whatever? And then sure enough, when she finally found out, it was just like the most amazing thing for her.
Yeah.
So yeah, I the joy in that scene was very relatable to me and my sister too. So really sweet.
Yeah, of course, like you, I've never had a kid myself, but I have heard that sometimes if you're waiting for it to happen, it won't happen. And then like when you're just not even expecting it, it'll just
Right, exactly.
happen.
I mean, look at Lee and Rosemary.
I was about to say that. I mean, look at Lee and Rosemary.
Yes. That was like 4 or 5 years there. And then we're totally like ready to just move on with it. That's when they found out.
Yes. So excited. Oh, this scene when Avery is on the phone with Mario, who owns the restaurant, and she almost spills the beans about her pregnancy, and then she makes up the excuse about the minivan.
Oh my gosh, yes. The minivan.
She's like, oh.
Yeah. Like, you okay over there, Avery? Yeah.
Oh.
She told quite a few little lies during the movie. But is what it is.
Yeah. And I think this was when she called to reschedule the dinner with Peter because he was feeling overwhelmed with everything going on with the school board, which I thought was nice of her to do.
Oh yeah, that was so sweet. Like, normally I was totally expecting her to like, act all like, because this happens sometimes in Hallmark movies where that's kind of where it's like, oh, you're not paying attention to me, and then like storms off or something. But she was very understanding about it and just like, oh, he's overwhelmed. Let's reschedule. I just thought that was so sweet, and that's why I like their relationship, because they're both very like, they care about each other a whole lot.
I love that too.
Yeah, and they don't sweat the small stuff. So I like that.
It's nice to see.
Yeah, it was very sweet.
I thought Clark and Grace's dinner was very nice, even though Grace isn't ready to move on.
Right, yeah. Is that the scene where he took her hand?
I think so, yeah. Or at least he tried to. I think he did maybe for a second, and then she kind of pulled away.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that was sweet. It was nice for her, kind of open up to open up, but not like right away. Just like, oh yeah, let's start dating again. She's a little disturbed, and he's very patient with her, which was sweet.
This scene made me crack up. And it is when Avery and Lucy are meeting with Mason, and she can't take the smell of the coffee.
Yes.
Oh, and Lucy just kind of keeps like putting the coffee in her face.
Yes. I was like, Mason's being really obnoxious with this coffee right now. But it was super funny. And I just don't know, someone's pregnant or whatever, you might do that. But
yeah, you could kind of sense that they could tell that she was probably pregnant.
Right. It was almost like Mason was kind of like, oh, let me test it out a little bit, Yeah. It was so funny because I know the actor of Mason. I know him more from Chesapeake Shores.
Yeah, that's where I first saw him too.
Yeah, but he didn't have the beard in Chesapeake Shores.
No, he didn't. No.
I actually really liked the beard on him. It was,
Yeah.
Good look for him.
Yeah. There's some people that can do facial hair and some that just can't.
Right. Yeah, I know. Yes, but I felt he did it quite well.
He did it well. Yes, he wore it well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's a great actor.
He is. Yes. Love his accent.
Yes. Seeing Peter in protective son mode was so sweet.
It was.
He was talking to Grace about the paintings, and then her seeing Clark, of course.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, I'm sure you'll like him as much as I do." And he's like, "I
Yeah.
think so." That was yeah, it was
Yeah.
super. Plus, when you think about it, technically his dad died about,
Hmm.
I think it was, so it's still pretty fresh for him. It's not like
Yeah.
his dad died like 10 years ago or whatever. It's like it's still pretty recent. So
Yeah.
I think sometimes I know I saw some people giving that storyline a little bit of criticism because they're like,
Hmm.
"Oh, he was too mean about it," but I'm like, it's still very fresh for both of them. That's why
Yeah.
they're both very hesitant about it.
Hmm. Which is understandable. I mean, I've never been in that position, but it's
Right.
understandable.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. But I appreciated that they kind of gave him and Grace a storyline
Hmm.
that they kind of had to work
Yeah.
through.
Hmm.
I thought
That
that
was
was
nice to
nice.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that double date.
Oh my gosh.
Those facial expressions from Kevin. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. That was so funny. I know Karen, who plays Grace,
Yes.
she she was like, I could not stop laughing because Kevin was making that scowling face. I would have died if I was on camera or crew or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was so funny. And I loved how Avery was like,
Yeah. Such a married couple thing. It's like, Peter, behave.
behave yourself.
Yeah. And I find it ironic that he got so mad that Clark like remembered that Grace liked souffle or whatever. He's like, "Oh, I
Oh,
remember."
yeah.
You're just like, "How dare you?"
How dare you remember that?
It's like, Peter, there are worse things out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
that
goodness.
was hilarious.
Yeah. The phone conversation with Avery, Emma, and Tracy when Avery is walking down the street eating the donut
Oh
and
yeah.
talking about Clark and Grace, and Tracy says, "Are you telling me Grace Hastings has a boyfriend?" Yeah, it's an old romance that's been rekindled.
Oh my gosh. So funny.
Oh my gosh.
Just the idea of like Grace Hastings having a boyfriend is like so, I don't know, it's so random because
I
like I'm
know.
very like
Yeah.
her and everything, but like to say, oh, she's got a boyfriend, it's like very interesting to me. But
Yeah.
I liked that. That was a fun conversation too.
Yeah. It was.
The callback, is that also the conversation where Tracy's running on the treadmill while talking?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
The third Wedding Bell movie,
Yep.
like bouncing on the trampoline, and they're like, "Oh, are you on the trampoline?" She's like, "No, we upgraded to a treadmill." I thought that was a nice callback. That was
Yes, it was. I loved that.
yeah, that was funny. I
Yeah.
appreciated that.
This is one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and it is when Peter and Avery are at the Hotel Astoria,
Mhm.
and she's getting things set up with the candles and rose petals. And then, he comes in with his back pain. Her concern for him was so sweet.
Really sweet. Yeah, I have to say it was definitely one of my favorite scenes of the
Yeah.
movie because even though it didn't work out, it was just like so cute and
And
like also
romantic. Yeah.
like such a unique scene. Like
Hmm.
you don't see things like that in Hallmark movies.
No.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
really liked that. I thought it
I
was
did
adorable.
too.
Yeah, and he just kind of flops down on the bed. We've all been there at some point in our life. And I was like, oh, it's so cute. That
Yes.
so concerned, and he's just like, oh, honey, you look so pretty, and then instantly
Yes.
out for the count. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really sweet. Yeah, I loved
Not
that.
literally like plopping on the bed, but that is almost me in a nutshell when I'm on my mission trip over the summer that I go on.
Oh my gosh, yes, I'm
Because
sure.
like we're working all day long. I mean, not all day. I mean, we take a lunch break in between like the morning and afternoon.
Hmm.
But literally I'm like so exhausted when
Oh,
I finally
yeah.
lay down.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure. I did like a work camp trip thing like one summer
Yeah.
back in school, and I remember being that exhausted at the end of every day. So
Yeah.
yes, I imagine that's a very accurate representation.
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
always a lot of fun though. It's a very humbling experience, but
Oh yeah.
the work, it does exhaust you after a long day in the sun.
Right, exactly. It's so different than just like, you can give a donation or drop off things at like a food bank.
Yeah.
Actually like getting in there and like doing them
Yeah.
is like so rewarding as well.
Yeah.
And in like a different kind of way. So
Yeah.
I admire you for that. That
Oh,
is
thank you.
and tiring, I'm sure.
It is, but we're all like a big family there, so it's nice to get to go back every summer. Although we haven't been in a couple years because of COVID, but I
Right.
think it's starting back again this year, which is exciting.
Oh,
So,
awesome. Wow. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
oh, yes. Can't wait to go back and see
Oh,
everyone and do some more humbling
yeah.
hard work.
That almost sounds like an oxymoron, but at the same time, I get it. Yes. Yes.
It's always amazing. Okay, this scene right here is my top favorite scene in this movie. I'm sure that you know which one I'm talking about.
Yes.
Peter finding out he's going to be a dad.
Yes. Yes. I loved that scene. And it wasn't even just like the scene itself, but like the whole movie, you're waiting for that moment. And
Yes.
how is he gonna react? Like the whole movie, I was like, how is Kevin gonna live up to this expectation of like what Peter's reaction is gonna be? And it was just
Yeah.
amazing. It was like
Yeah.
so yeah, he's like
Yeah.
got emotional and she was crying and it was perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So sweet. And you could really see the height difference in the end of that scene too.
I was about to say, he's literally like kneeling,
Yes. He's like squatting just to kiss her.
squatting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But even the build up to that scene where, there's
Yeah.
fighting a little bit, there's tension, and then right at the end, it just kind of
Mhm.
crescendos into like this amazing moment where she finally tells him.
Yeah. It was so sweet.
Oh yeah, for
And you
sure.
could hear his voice crack a little bit when he said, I'm going to be a dad.
Yeah, and I could see like him tearing up a little bit. It was so cute.
Yes.
So yes, Kevin did a great job. So did Liz.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll depended on that scene, and I thought they knocked it out of the park. It was
They
great.
did. Yeah. And the scenes just keep getting better with Peter's wake up call to Avery with the rose on the pillow again. And
Yes,
Avery
that's
says,
cute.
I dreamt I was married to the love of my life and he woke me up with roses. And then Peter says, and then we had a kid.
He's just like giddy about the fact that he's gonna be a dad, and it's so adorable.
Yes.
It was so cute.
Yeah. I thought it was sweet when they were talking about the pregnancy symptoms. And, he's like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah, yeah, that was super cute. I
Yeah.
love how, like his whole like attitude kind of like
Mhm.
the whole situation, everything. It
Yeah.
just like totally changed after that.
Mhm.
So at
Yeah.
first super stressed out and
Yeah.
just like kind of grumpy the whole
Mhm.
like first half, but then after she tells him, he's just like, I'm fine with it. Like we're
Yeah.
great. Life is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on that high of being a father.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
super cute. I loved that.
This was a good scene too, and very comedic. It is when Avery is talking to Emma and Tracy, and she is mentioning the nursery and how she told Peter. And Emma says, Mom's the word. And Tracy says, Emma, that was terrible. Leave the jokes to me.
Well, it goes back to what I said about Tracy being kind of the humor of it all.
Yeah.
I appreciated seeing Emma throw in her little dad joke in there.
Yes.
Yeah, even though it was a mom joke, technically,
Yeah. Yeah.
that it was bad.
Yes.
Super
And
cute.
then I loved seeing Avery dreaming of the nursery. That was a beautiful moment.
Oh yeah, yeah, I loved that too.
Yeah.
And you don't often get to see that kind of like moment where they're about to transform the nurse.
Mhm.
And, she's just like envisioning it, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I've seen so many like movies and TV shows where that
Mhm.
moment is more overwhelming, where it's like, I need to do this. But
Yeah.
her, it was just like this peaceful, like, oh, it's gonna be great. And like
Yeah.
that's Avery. She's always optimistic and
Yeah.
happy about everything. So that was
Yes.
really sweet.
The moment when Emma and Tracy come for a visit and they're at
Mhm.
the museum and Mason comes in and he finds out that they all wore the veil.
Oh yeah.
That was so fun.
He's like, so you just like it for sentimental value, and they're like, well, I mean, yes, but no. That was yeah, that was
Yeah.
loved how like Tracy was the one who kind of knew
Yeah.
him. She got a
Yeah.
little punchy with him, like, oh, come on,
Yeah.
Mason. Yeah,
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was really sweet for them to come because
Yeah.
Avery's about to have
Mhm.
a breakdown, kind of, and yeah, she just
Yeah.
really needed them there, and I
Yeah.
appreciate
I did too.
it. Yeah, super sweet.
Yeah. I love the friendship between Avery and Emma and Tracy. I think it's really nice to see female friendships like that that are so strong.
Absolutely, yes, yes, I 100% agree. I think
Yeah.
it's really, really nice
Yeah.
because that's kind of the way it is in life. You have
Yeah.
these that you just kind of always reconnect with and pick up where you left
Mhm.
off, and you have to
Yeah.
make time for each other. But like even when you're married or off living in
Mhm.
another state or another country or whatever, you make it work.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I really appreciate that.
Yeah. You don't see it with everyone because I mean, of course, there are still even these days women who are like so competitive with each other and
Mhm.
the
Right.
jealousy is like so high and it's like
Yeah.
insane.
Especially with social media, everyone's like, I'm competing with next
Yeah.
whoever, and it's like, no, you could just be friends and
Yeah.
have your girl group.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Catty. That's the word I'm thinking of. Like some women are so catty and I'm just
oh
like,
yes. Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'm
yeah.
glad this is kind of showcasing like
Yeah.
good female friendship for sure,
Yes.
not just competitive.
Yeah. I loved seeing Avery in her office with Peter, Emma, and Tracy. And,
Mhm.
at first it's just Avery and Emma and Tracy. And then Peter walks in and Emma and Tracy share congratulations about the pregnancy. And
Mhm.
Tracy says, pregnancy looks good on both of you. And Peter says, I draw the line at pineapple pizza.
Yes, and he makes that like cute little stern face where he's
Yeah.
like, I draw the line at pineapple pizza. And then
Yeah.
it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's cute. Yeah. And I find it funny how like Tracy is like so offended because her husband's a chef.
Yeah.
So not an Italian chef.
Yeah.
And when you're Italian, pineapple pizza is like sacrilegious, basically. And she's so offended, and I found that was hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Oh my goodness. Do you like pineapple pizza?
Do I like pineapple pizza?
Yeah.
I'm not like, I don't have a vendetta against it, but it's not like my preference. Like I won't go order a pineapple pizza. But if there's a pineapple pizza at my disposal that I don't have to go out of my way to get, I will eat it. But
I understand that. I love pineapple pizza, but I totally understand.
oh yeah, yeah. I don't know a lot of people who like love it, but that's so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Pepperoni is my favorite.
Oh, Yeah, that's fair. I like pepperoni and sometimes with a little bacon on there too.
Oh
It's
yeah. I've never tried that.
you should
I'll
try
have to
it. It's
try that
very good.
sometime.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
actually
definitely.
just had pizza for lunch today.
Oh my gosh, really?
Pepperoni.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
Which is so funny because we're talking about pizza.
Yeah.
It
No,
wasn't
fun
ham and
fact, I think
pineapple.
she actually ate all of that pineapple pizza that she had to eat for the takes and stuff.
Yeah.
She's like, I ate a whole
Wow.
she doesn't even like pineapple pizza in real life, but
Wow.
yeah. Ironically, it's actually, the opposite in real
Yeah.
life. She doesn't really like it, but Kevin actually does like
Oh my
pineapple
goodness.
pizza. So it's really funny.
That's so funny.
In real life, it's actually vice
Yeah.
versa. Yeah.
And really briefly, can we just talk about Peter trying to give Tracy a hug and she was like,
Yes,
And then she kind of like backtracks.
yes. Like, absolutely not. He's
Not
like, okay. And then she's like, I'm messing with you. And then you see Emma just kind of roll her eyes like, oh no, here we go. That was great. That was really funny.
at first I thought she was serious. I was like, wait, what?
I was like, what do you have against Peter, Tracy? And then she's like, I'm just kidding. I'm like, okay. You're
Okay,
good.
that's good.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
And, once again, Tracy being the funny one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's always one friend like that friend group, who's like kind of the sarcastic funny one.
Yeah.
And Tracy's definitely that person.
Yes. The three women, they go to lunch and they have a pineapple pizza.
Yes.
And Avery is talking about the pregnancy cravings and her mom, which I thought was really sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was so sweet. And I love the part where she started getting a little emotional thinking about it. And then Emma's like, oh, that was even more touching with you having this tomato sauce.
Yeah.
The cutest thing.
Yeah.
Like Emma is just so like, she's so motherly about everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. And it's like, that's friendship right there.
Yes, it is. And speaking of mothers, Avery asks Emma and Tracy to be the baby's godmothers.
So cute. I loved that.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
As like the movie was going on, I was like,
yeah,
of course, that makes total sense.
Yeah. Another favorite scene from Peter and Avery, and it is when they are talking on the balcony about the pregnancy, the minivan, and the first day they met.
Yeah, that was so cute. I love the callback, like
the gallant.
Yeah, she's like,
the first day we
I
met.
actually knew what that meant, and it's like,
yeah,
because you hear it said all the time, where it's like people say that they don't really know what true love is until you're a parent, and like I've heard a lot of people say like, oh, I didn't realize how selfish of a person I was until I had a kid, and I had to like give up so much of myself. I really think that scene showed that like Peter and Avery were learning that having a kid is even more than just like doing amazing things for each other, romantic things or whatever. It's like actually like being selfless and being there and being present, and I loved that. I thought that was really, really sweet.
Yeah. I love when he asks the question, what does it mean to you? And Avery says that you're going to be as good to our kid as you are to me.
Yes. So cute. Yeah. That was adorable.
Yeah.
Her dress in that scene was really pretty.
It was. Yeah.
It was like the red dress and then he's wearing blue, and it was just like a really nice, like.
It was. Yeah. And of course he kneels to feel the baby.
Oh, so cute. So cute. I loved that.
Yeah. Again, Mason with the coffee.
In that scene, the scene you're about to mention, literally, I was like, dude, what is wrong with you? Why?
Like he thinks that she doesn't like the painting because of her reaction to the coffee. And she's like, no, she's trying to explain herself.
Yeah. It's like, you don't like it. She's like, no, it's great.
It's great.
I'm just about to, be sick right now.
Because you won't get that coffee out of my face.
Gosh, yeah. But I actually, even as comedic as that scene was meant to be, I also appreciated that it showed that, being a pregnant mother in the workplace can be difficult, like you have a lot of, actresses or just women or whatever, they still go through with their career even though they're pregnant, and sometimes you just have to make it work, and I really appreciated that scene showed that, like, even though she was, pregnant, she had a lot of like struggles to,
I do
get
too. Yeah.
through the day and stuff, but she still like overcame them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. These next few scenes, first Peter and Avery at home, and they compliment each other and they have a little pep talk in the mirror.
That was
yeah. And then Avery at the museum with Mason. And this is when Peter comes in and they're talking about playing doubles tennis. That was so funny.
Yeah. Like Mason like pretends to swing the racket and like Peter's like catches the ball. He's like,
yeah.
Why did I do that?
Yeah. And I think this is when Avery has that pink band on her wrist. And she's like, the tennis wrist.
Yeah. Yes. And
Peter's like,
as I saw it, I knew what it was because my sister actually uses those when she's pregnant. But I know most people wouldn't know it right from sight, but it definitely didn't match what she was wearing, so it kind of stood out a little bit.
Definitely didn't match.
Yeah,
but I can totally understand her wanting to wear it, even though I've never been in that position. I can understand.
I haven't either, but yeah,
that
that scene was very funny.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if you noticed this, but I feel like Mason really wanted to be friends with Peter. I don't know.
I think so too.
There were
yeah.
little, like, instances in the movie where he would like say something really nice to Peter, but he's sometimes a little harder on Avery, and it just struck me as funny. I'm like, wow, he really wants to be friends with Peter. Okay. Yeah,
I think I noticed that too. Yeah.
I was like, I don't really know why, but it struck me as funny. I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. He wants road time with Peter.
Yeah. And then Peter and Avery at home, and they are talking about how they should make the house earthquake proof. And then they go into the dialogue with Avery saying, I'm nesting, and Peter says, I'm protecting. And then after that, they talk about always making time for each other. And Avery says, glances across the crowded room, and Peter says, does the room have to be crowded?
Oh my god.
As she looks over the
That was the cutest. It was so cute. I even made some kind of like photo edit then like a couple days later, and I showed my younger sister who had watched the movie with me, and she's like, oh yeah, that scene was really cute. I'm like, yeah, it was.
I think I saw that. That was a very good edit.
Oh, thank you. That's really thank you. But yeah, how he's just like, oh my. Well, you're gonna be good at the dad jokes. He's like, that.
You make beautiful edits, by the way.
Oh, thank you. That's really
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Avery says, at least we know you're going to be good at the dad jokes.
Yes. That is for sure.
And I think I've heard that Kevin is good at those as well.
Kevin loves dad jokes.
I can't wait to see him become a dad.
Same. I'm so excited for that. Literally.
Yeah.
There's gonna be tons of dad jokes.
Yes. I'm so excited for Kevin and Kayla.
Yes, me too. I was so happy when I saw the engagement.
Yeah.
That literally made my day. It was
Peter and Avery in the family room, and this is when Sam stops by and they are talking about what to watch on TV and baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I loved
That was a nice moment.
Yeah. It was so like real to life kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, like you can go and do like really glamorous things as a couple, and at the end of the day, real life couple's just gonna be sitting there trying to decide what to watch on TV and what to eat for dinner. So yeah, it was super cute. And I love when he's like, "Oh, what do you want for dinner?" And she's like, "Oh, pineapple pizza." He's like, "Really? Come on."
Yeah.
But he doesn't say no. He's just like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how he is talking about his dad and how they never missed a Red Sox game, and then going to Mario's to show him the minivan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how the minivan was kind of a running joke throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite baseball team that you root for?
You know what? I don't watch baseball.
You don't watch baseball?
But my dad, he is a Mets fan, so I just root for the Mets, I guess.
You just root for the Mets?
Yeah. How about you? Do you have a favorite baseball
Being
team?
from the South, I would probably have to say the Braves.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I wish I knew more about baseball. My family is obsessed with football, and unfortunately, I probably know more about it than anybody.
I like watching football too. Yeah.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I don't know a whole lot about baseball. I just know that my dad's team is the Mets.
Yeah. Yes, there's a lot of good teams out there, and the Mets are a great team as well. So.
Yeah. So I've heard. I wouldn't know, but yeah, that's what I've heard.
I think football, like pro football, I think my favorite team would have to be the Packers. And I think that's all of our favorite teams, like my mom and me and my dad and my brother. My brother loves Aaron Rodgers.
Aw, that's great. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, unfortunately, everyone in my family likes a different team.
Oh.
But yeah,
I'm sure that's fun on Sunday Night Football.
I mean, luckily I'm not super invested, so I'll just my team win this week. Oh, too bad. But other people in my family are like, "Oh, my team made it to the playoffs, win the Super Bowl." I'm like, "That's great. I'm happy for you."
My brother gets into it. I'm like,
I'm sure.
Dylan, it is just a game.
Yeah, I would say that to my brothers, but literally they are either, if they're not watching football, they're playing football, and they literally want to go to like college for football. So yeah.
And my brother is a soccer player, so he likes both footballs. Literally, football and football.
Wait, does he have a favorite soccer team too?
Oh goodness. I can't remember. I know one of his favorite players is Lionel Messi.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I think he likes Arsenal, is one of his favorite teams.
Oh my gosh, my sister used to root for Arsenal. She kind of, doesn't really know what's going on with soccer.
I don't know a lot about soccer either.
I went through a phase of my life where I was very into soccer, so I do know a lot about it, but not like the current what's going on.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
So yeah, I hear the word Arsenal. I'm like, I know what that is, but don't know how they're doing. I don't know.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I don't really keep up with it, but my brother does.
Yeah. If I need to know anything, I just ask my brother. He knows.
Yeah. A little bit later on in the movie, Grace has a conversation with Clark while they're on a little walk, and she decides to break things off, but still wants to be friends.
Yeah. Oh. See, I thought Clark was really admirable in the scene.
He was.
I guess we'll just be friends, but I could understand why she felt the way she felt too, because it was so hard for Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Peter knew like how much of his reaction to it was affecting her vision. But at the same time, like they're all like kind of like tiptoeing around each other at this point. But I felt bad for Grace that she felt like she couldn't move on, but then also for Clark, because the trooper, man. He literally like he waited it out and eventually got rewarded. But he's a trooper, especially. Yeah. Super sweet.
Yeah. And I thought the conversation after she breaks things off, when she's talking to Avery, I thought that was really nice as well, because Avery is trying to tell Grace that her son just wants her to be happy and wants what's best for her.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I love seeing Avery and Grace getting closer too.
Yeah.
Because in the first Wedding Veil movie, they had maybe like 1 or 2 conversations.
1 or 2 scenes, yeah.
And that was just them getting to know each other better.
Yeah.
But now you can actually see they have a relationship, and they're walking through the garden together, and she's sharing this about what's going on in her life, and super sweet.
Yeah. I would love to see more movies so we can see more of the mother-daughter relationship with them.
Yeah, especially if Peter and Avery end up having more children.
Yes, and seeing her be a grandmother as well.
Yes, I think that would be adorable. She'd probably spoil all the kids. Like,
yes,
got all the candies and
yes.
Yeah.
We get to Peter and Avery in their room again, and they have a conversation about Grace breaking things off with Clark, and they're snuggling, and Avery says, I don't want us to fight, and Peter says, I'm not fighting with you. I'm fighting to hold on to the memory of my father.
Oh, another one of my favorite scenes.
I know, same.
I mean, just the way they're like snuggling, it's so cute. And like he had some real like deep in his eyes, and he's just really distraught about the whole thing, because he realizes he's gonna have to let go his feeling to make room in his life for this new boyfriend that his mom has. But one thing I loved in that scene is that they didn't actually fight. Sometimes you see couples like fight and they just go to bed angry with each other, and it's like, okay, but they didn't actually fight, and it was sweet. Like, even when he's like, oh, is she mad because of me? And like he's like, well, I don't care. And she's like, oh, but it's making her sad. And it's like, Avery's just so sympathetic, and Peter's protective, and he loves his dad who died too, and it's all coming from a place of love. So there's really no like right person in the situation. It's just like everyone's coming from a place of love, and they just have to work it out. But really sweet. Love that too. Yeah.
We finally get to the opening of the exhibit, and Peter and Avery tell Grace that she's going to be a grandmother, and the support was really sweet. And then Clark shows up, and Peter apologizes. I thought that was very nice. I don't have what he said written down, but I loved that line from Peter.
Yeah, I think he said, basically Clark said, oh, like, I'll settle for your friendship, as in like your dad or whatever. I could like, let me earn it first.
Yes,
I loved that. I thought that
I did too.
It was like, oh, I'm not gonna let you make it too easy for me. I'm actually making an effort to accept you in my life, and I liked that. I thought that was great.
Yes. Mason decides that the painting can stay at the museum as part of the permanent collection. Avery trying to give Mason a hug.
Like, I'm hormonal, indulge me.
Indulge me.
Then he pats her on the back. It's like, well done. And she walks away. Yeah, that scene was really fun. Especially
I kind of wish we had seen Lucy's reaction. Like, do you think that she found out before that scene and they just cut that scene out of the movie? I'm not sure.
I feel like there were certain scenes that may have been cut, and I'm guessing that's probably one of them.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to see that. Especially, she and Avery were pretty much, work besties in the first movie. And, they still were to an extent.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I would have liked to see her finding out. I think that would have been.
After the exhibit, Peter and Avery, they have a conversation about kids getting a dog, and then they share a dance. That dance was so sweet.
So cute. I loved that scene.
Yeah.
And I like how it wasn't just like, oh, we're gonna have kids and it'll be great. He's like, well, we're gonna have to get a dog, and then we're gonna have to get new sofas because the dog's gonna ruin the sofas, which is completely true. But it was just really, really sweet.
Yeah.
Like how, they weren't just looking ahead to like, oh, we're gonna be living on cloud 9 and it's gonna be bliss.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, here's the reality, but we're gonna make it work, and I really liked that. Yeah. And the dance was so cute too.
Yes. And then the time jump to 7 months later and the wedding of Clark and Grace. I kind of wish we had seen the proposal.
Yeah, me too. And I wish we had seen the baby in the christening dress too.
Yeah, me too.
There's a lot that probably, like I said, was cut that we didn't see. But I would have liked to see that too, and the proposal. Yeah. And also, quick note, I don't think 7 months would be enough for the baby to be as big as the baby was when they the baby. Yeah. The baby looked a little more than like a month or so old.
Yeah. Maybe like 3 months.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
But you know how it is. It's fine.
Yeah. Time is fluent in the Hallmark world.
Yes. I mean, we know this from When Calls the Heart.
Calls the Heart, yeah.
Yeah. It's all good. Yeah. I thought it was really sweet how, you had Peter walking Grace up the aisle.
That was really sweet.
Magnificent.
Yeah.
She looked amazing.
She looked beautiful. Yeah.
Yes. And, just the fact that Peter was able to like hand her off to Clark, it really showed how their relationship improved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Avery like glancing over Peter from across the aisle.
That was really sweet. Yeah.
That was super cute.
Yeah. We may not have seen the proposal, but I love how we heard that he did it under the Amici.
So cute. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
That was really sweet. Yeah. I feel like a lot of those big moments happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Peter with the baby carrier.
Oh my gosh. Yes. That was great.
Yes.
Here in a lot of the Christmas Hallmark movies, they're very into making the guys like wear glasses as like kind of thing. I think we should make it a new thing where a lot more guys wear baby carriers.
Yeah.
Yeah. To Hallmark.
Yes.
Or baby carriers.
That would be nice.
Yes, I loved that.
Or we could do a combination of the Hallmark Clark Kent with the baby carrier.
Yes. I'll take it. Sign me up. I would love that.
Yeah.
That was great. I thought Kevin looked really good with the it suited him. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And the women decide to go to New Orleans for their next antiquing trip. Mm-hmm. And the toast, which I always love at the end of the movies.
I love how they do that at the end of every movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love what Peter said to the other two. He's like, I feel like we just keep meeting up at weddings. It's like, yeah what you do. Yeah.
Yes.
Begins in a wedding, but that's why we love it. So.
Yeah. And if we didn't think the movie could get any better, they just top it off with that perfect scene.
Yes. Oh my God.
Peter and Avery talking about their first.
Yes. That scene was pure gold. Because we know it wasn't actually Peter and Avery. It was
Kevin and Lacey.
Yes. Oh my God. She totally got him. It was so funny.
I love how, I think it's Peter in the background, like Peter Benson, the director, asking the questions. And, he said, what was the first thing you noticed about him? And Lacey says his accent.
Oh my God.
Kevin just like rolls over laughing.
Straight up died of laughter. Yeah. That was great. I love how like black and the only thing you hear is Lacey like laughing out loud. It's so funny.
You can really tell it was Kevin and Lacey in that moment.
Yes, that was not Peter and Avery. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I think the two of them had a lot of like running jokes throughout filming this time. And I think that was like the cherry on top.
Yes. Perfect way to end this movie. Perfect way to end it.
It was perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said, it gave it really that like more of a rom-com type feel, which I really like.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would give this 5 out of 5 stars. What about
5
you?
5 out of 5 for me too. Yeah. Yes, I loved it.
Yeah.
Because even with the first trilogy, my favorite one was actually the last one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because I liked the other two, but the last one really seemed to have all of the, it checked off more boxes than the other two.
Yeah.
This one I was like, this is my kind of movie. I love this one.
It was good. I enjoyed that one too.
Yeah. I mean, they're all good in their own way. Yeah, I felt like this particular one, the expectations, I just felt like it had the best scenes, like there may have been a lot of storylines going on, but a lot of the best scenes came out of it.
Yeah.
And I really liked that.
I think so too. Yeah. Well, this was so much fun. Thank you, Theresa, for joining. Such a great time.
For having me. Yeah, I had a blast. So thank you. Of course.
Yes. We will definitely have you back on again in the future.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great
time. Of course. Yes, it was a blast chatting about this wonderful movie.
Oh, yeah. Love the movie. Love coming on here to talk about it.
Yes. All right, Hallmarkies, I think that wraps up our review of the Wedding Veil Expectations. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in the world, and we will see you next time. We love y'all. Bye.
Bye.